Hey everybody, welcome to another Legacy video. This is a spicy deck. This is Bug Green Sun Zenith. This deck got second place in GP Bologna. It lost in the finals to Bant Miracles. I recorded a video of that as well, so go check that out if you haven't yet. But this deck, my understanding is that it didn't lose a match till the finals, which is crazy because this deck is crazy. So just bug colors, no splash, no red cards in the board or anything. Two wastelands in this deck. We got one Dryad Arbor, two Gilded Goose, two Noble Hierarch, because you got to split those up. One Underground Sea, one Tropical Island, no Bayous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basics with two Astrolabes. So there's... Oh, there is a Bayou up here. Never mind. All right. So there is one of each duel, some basics, two Astrolabes, Abrupt Decay, Rock Solid Legacy card, Brainstorm, great card, no Ponders, two main deck Plague Engineer, and a third in the board, four Oko. That's the money. This is an Oko deck at the end of the day. And Leovold, Courser of Crewfix, Value Engine, Tireless Tracker Value Engine, 4 Ice Fang Quaddle, Questing Beast to bring it home at the end. So this is just a bug mid-range deck that uses Green Sun Zenith as a toolbox to pick off Planeswalkers or draw cards or whatever, affect the graveyard. So pretty straightforward deck. We've seen stuff like this before, but this is a new take on it. I did make two changes to the sideboard. There were two Carpet of Flowers, and I switched one of them to a Thoughtseize because in the online meta I expect more control and combo than Delver. And there was one Leyline of the Void, which I switched for a Thoughtseize as well, because I don't imagine one Leyline of the Void really being worth the slot. So I just have two Thoughtseizes in that slot now. Other than that, this is 73 of the 75 that got second place at the Grand Prix. Let's try it out. All right, we're on the play. We don't have any ramp, but we do have plenty of action. With the two Geese, the two Hierarchs, and the four Green Sun Zeniths, there are 8 1-mana dorks, essentially, because you can get Dryad Arbor. But we have Astrolabe to dig a little bit. This Courser of Crewfix I'm excited to put into play. I can honestly say I've never cast that card in Legacy before. So I'm pretty sure we want Forest, right? Like, planning for the possibility that our Astrolabe gets countered or destroyed. I think Forest is the best land for us to have. Alright, the Goose. Now we have a Ramper. So now we can Wasteland and Goose and still have turn 3 anything. Alright. Remember how I said we're more likely to play against a non-Delver deck? Wrecked. Immediately wrecked. Alright, so I can Brainstorm, try to find a fetch land. So I can use Wasteland to cast Brainstorm. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I can play around Wasteland by playing my own. Doesn't play around Wasteland, like they still can waste my land, but what they can't do is take me off colors. Hopefully they just won't mess with it. This has to be blue-red or blue-white based on the basic island. Multiple color Delver decks, or like 3 color Delver decks generally don't have room for a basic. I'm not here to trade my Goose for that. So I could end step this Brainstorm. We know about Spell Snare. Nah, I'd rather Brainstorm with Courser in play. That sounds insane. Alright, can't Spell Snare this. Can't Daze it. I have a Force of Will. They're thinking about it. Alright, days. Alright, let's feed our food to the days. Yes, pay for that. Wow, they just had nothing. Deal. Did they just forget about Goose, or what? What's going on here? Alright, well, we have Noble Hierarch on top, which is not super exciting, but this Brainstorm plus Zenith gives us a lot of shuffles. Just got to be careful about Zenith for 1, because that can get hit by Spell Snare. Are we getting Brazen Borrowed? Oh, Echoing Truth. Okay. That's a magic card that exists. So I'm not going to run my Force of Will into a Daze. I guess if they had a second Daze, they would have Dazed Courser, but whatever. Replaying Courser next turn seems fine. I could also Brainstorm Hierarch next turn. That might be even better. Yeah, maybe I'll take a break on Courser. Also, Echoing Truth in the main. Is this mono blue Delver? That's a weird card to have. Alright, they did not shuffle their library. Alright, we found a land. We found an answer to Delver. That's all good stuff. I don't think I actually want this Force of Will. And Hierarch lets me spend all my mana this turn. I'll put the Ooze back in my deck. Oh, I should probably watch out for Stifle. Mono blue Delver's got to have Stifle in it, right? Alright, whatever. I'll play Hierarch. I could attack for 1. I think that's just what I'm going to do. Get in there, Goose. Caw! Or honk, whatever this sound geese make. So I'm going to fetch in their upkeep. If they're going to stifle me... I want them to spend their own mana to do it. I can still decay off Astrolabe. Alright, so I want my Swamp, I guess. My opponent appropriately commenting on how sick the Goose is, the Goose attack. Honk honk, fella. Alright, well, this is dying now. Wop. Yeah, in the Delver matchup, like Delver versus midrange, basically your only plan is don't die. That is your sole mission. So this could be a True Name Nemesis. Okay. They are blue-red, not mono-blue. Young P is a good one. We got some main deck Plague Engineers, though. Motobug. I just got rid of that. Alright, Courser. Let's go. I redrew the Force, which is, I guess, fine. Alright, now it looks pretty good. They pitch their Spell Snare. Force you back. Courser is a powerful engine to compete with Young Pyromancer for sure. Alright, well I don't want that. So, do I think they have Daze? I guess they could have Spell Pierce also. Basically, it's Zenith for 1 or for 0. Alright, so I'll grab another Hierarch. Coatl on top. Goose could attack for 2 here. So it will. Ice Fang Coatl coming up next. I gotta be careful with blocking because I don't really want my Courser bolted. Have they done anything this game to indicate they have Lightning Bolt in their hand? Alright, now they cast Brainstorm, so anything's possible. My opponent asked in the chat if I really think Courser is better than Jace. And against Young Pyromancer, when I'm at 11 life, I do think that. Like, gaining life, getting through my deck, that's how I'm going to beat a Young P. Not by trying to resolve a 4-drop against the Daze deck. And I'm pretty well insulated from Daze with my double Hierarchs here. Just hope this Coatl can get online, find me a land. I could see a lot of cards next turn. Like, if I draw Coatl, that's 1. Land on top, that's 2. Cast Coatl, draw. Like, I could just Ancestral Recall next turn. Basically. Alright, I'm not falling for this. We had that exchange in the chat about how good I think Courser is. I'm not going to throw it away to a Lightning Bolt. Alright, so we got some banter in the chat. Opponent just said, see, Young does nothing. Alright, so green, blue, Coatl. Come on, land on top. Let's do this. Ooh, Leovold's a pretty good card, though. Not upset to see that there. Honk. Alright, so if I attack with Courser, it's a 4-6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so it would kill their Young Pyromancer if they block. I guess they could Brainstorm plus Bolt. This is a 2-3. I'll just attack with this. I want the Goose in play because I can make a food. And now with 2 geese, I'm happy blocking elementals with those. That's not a problem. And this Coatl can start attacking next turn. Oh, is this the Bolt? Alright, they did cast Bolt. Went straight to the dome. That's aggressive considering I have foods. Okay, they were just trying to cash in their days for a 1-1. That's fair. Alright, so their hand is basic island. Also firing Bolt at my face the turn before I draw Leovold. They must think they can get over the finish line here. This game's been pretty interesting, actually. Someday I'd like to make a land drop with Courser in play. But we all have dreams. They don't all come true. So they have 5 attackers, I have 5 blockers. If I feel the need to block that hard. Alright, so block, block, block. I'll line up my obvious blocks. If they had bolt on top, is what it is. But if they bolt Courser now, that means they're not bolting Leovold, which I'm totally fine with. Let's get hungry. Alright, sweet. Land on top, my god. It's a Christmas miracle. Alright, now you can bolt it. Alright, so blue, black, green, Leovold, let's go. And now we can bring the beets with Coatl. We have 4 mana, so we can make a food and eat the food every turn. So they have to attack for more than 3 per turn to net any damage at all. I'm probably not interested in this Force of Will. I'll see what they do on their next turn. I do have plenty of mana to hardcast this thing, though. Alright, damage is through. It's funny, if they bolt Leovold, I'll draw the Force, and I could... Oh god, Price of Progress. Alright. Wish I didn't tap my Wasteland. Let's get Island. Alright, so I'm gonna take 2 from... or 4 from that. I'm at 3. Alright. So I'm just going to eat some foods this turn. Courser gained 2 life already this game. That I would be at 1 if I didn't have it. And it blocked, so I'd be dead if I didn't resolve this Courser. So going back to our conversation from earlier. Yeah, they don't even have attacks. Let's eat some food. Get out of bolt range. Then do I make a food or do I eat a food? What can deal 6 to me? I don't think anything. So I'll make a food here. Alright, Oko is now in my hand. So the food parade. Alright, I'll make a food. Next turn I can steal their young Pyromancer. Now that I know about Price of Progress, I'm leaving up Wasteland. Not that I'm super worried about getting burned out from this position. Please cast Brainstorm. Oh, they went to cast Brainstorm, then conceded. Leovold. Alright, so against blue-red Delver, I want the Plague Engineer. It can name Elemental or Human or Merfolk or Rogue. Those are all pretty good. Meek Stone. Pretty sweet, locking down True Names and Flip Delvers. And possibly Brazen Borrowers. I suspect that card's probably in their deck. And here's the carpet coming up. Like I said it wouldn't. I don't want any Force of Wills. I probably don't want Jace against the Red Blast Daze, probably Wasteland deck. So Veil of Summer is coming in. That will help my spells resolve. It also gives... Oh, it gives uncounterable from anything, but only hexproof from blue and black. So this does not stop them from bolting my creatures. But I know I don't want any Force of Wills. It's just if I want Jace or the first Jace or the second Veil. I probably just want the Veils. If both of us resolve all our spells, I'm going to win because my things are just so much bigger. Okay, let's do it. Alright, so this hand has turn 2 Leovold, but not much else. I'm going to keep it. Alright, now we have a turn 2 tracker. I'm going to fetch my basic forest. Jumping out ahead of a Delver deck on resources really messes up their plan, because it's their whole raison d'etre to just get ahead of you on resources and nickel and dime you out. So if the mid-range deck is actually ahead on mana, it's really bad spot for them. All right, this is probably a young Pyromancer. Ooh, Dr. Arcanist. Alright. I was gonna say... Oh, I should have wasted and cast Ooze. Alright, I can waste next turn. So... I can slam one of my 3-drops into Daze, see if they have it. Or I can play this Ooze. I think Ooze is going to be better in the mid-game. So... I have to get... black here, I think. I mean, I definitely have to get black. It's just, do I get Underground Sea or Swamp? Probably Swamp. I'm going to shove Tracker into the Daze because I'm less... Tracker is less good than Leovold. If it's Force of Will, I'm happy either way. If it's Daze, I'll be happier with Tracker. And next turn, if I can waste plus Leovold. Oh, it's Force of Will. Nice. All right, Force Pitching Spell Pierce. All right, let's see how badly I get punished by not wasting them. All right, Ponder's fine. So hopefully they put Red Blast in their hand and think that's good, because then I can take them off that. But they are going to get the Dreadhorde trigger here. It's a reponder. They did not shuffle their library on the first one. They did not shuffle again. Bolting my Hierarch would be pretty brutal. It's my only blue source. Uh-oh, here it comes. Alright, I've been bolted. Alright, so I could slam Leovold. It would get bolted immediately. I could slam Ooze and eat the bolt. I think I like that the best. So I have to get Tropical Island here, because I need access to blue mana, and I need double green. Force of will would be pretty rough. All right, they didn't have it. So Dreadhorde Arcanist targets, so I want to make them put the trigger on the stack, targeting Lightning Bolt before I eat it. I was like, if I just eat it now, then they could Brainstorm and recast Brainstorm in combat, which I'm not cool with. And if they just don't attack, then I'll eat Tireless Tracker or Noble Hierarch and just become a 3/3. Alright, so there's that. Cast my green Stifle, my green onboard Stifle. Is there any reason not to block? Like Electricry or the Volley. They're up to something. Oh, they're sinking my hole in response. All right, that's fine. You got me. I'm going to... I could waste plus Leovold. I think I'm going to play the Wasteland, cast Leovold, because this plays around days. And if they don't have days, I just waste them. And if they do have days, I'd just rather have Leovold in play. Okay. So they had the days. Here comes Leovold. Activate hard mode. So now cantrips aren't good until they clear Leovold. Oh, looks like they're going to clear Leovold. The blue-red Delver deck has tons of spells in it, like removal spells. And they haven't made a land drop for basically since turn 2. So we know their hand is just all spells, because that's how that works. Alright. I'll kill this thing. Just pick it off. They've been playing on slim resources for a while. Let's try to pull ahead. If we can answer this Dreadhorde, we'll be miles ahead. Okay, nice. Brandstorm. Engineer, Coatl. Alright, we're in good shape. I'm going to put back Dryad Arbor and Wasteland. Alright, hopefully I can just pick off this Arcanist with the Coatl this turn. So I could respond to this with Coatl. That would play around counter magic. But I really want to answer the Dreadhorde. So if they... I kind of want to let them attack first. So now I can get basic island. My mana's pretty well set up. They could have days. Days might even be really good for them because it gives them a land drop that they wouldn't have had otherwise. It basically untaps their land. Of course, if they have nothing, then we just get to eat their thing. They get another Brainstorm. That sucks, but it's fine. You know, 1/3 trample. Let's hope they don't have mutagenic growth. Death touch. Alright, so I could... Alright, what's in my deck? My Ooze is already dead. Coatl's in my hand. I could Zenith for Leovold, but I don't want to do that until I can protect it. The tracker's already dead. Don't have enough mana for Questing Beast. Alright, so I could just jam Plague Engineer. I think you name human, or is it wizard? Let me check real quick, make sure Young Pyromancer is a wizard. Young Pyromancer is a shaman. Alright, not a wizard. Okay, so wizard hits Delver and Dreadhorde Arcanist. Human hits Young Pyromancer and Delver. They're pretty far away from... Yeah, they're really far away from True Name Nemesis, and I have a backup engineer. Alright, so they're Brainstorm locked. Not sure what they've got at this point. Maybe Spell Snare, so I'll just be careful about that. And by be careful about that, I mean jam Sylvan Library straight into it because I have Veil of Summer. I can also cast an Uncounterable Goose here. Yeah, that Wasteland. Who's the Delver deck now? Alright, so we have another Wasteland. Put on top, and do I want to pay for? Go to 9. Nah, let's put it on top. I don't want to get cheesed out suddenly. Like, I'm so far ahead right now. Just losing because I drew a bunch of cards that I didn't need off Sylvan Library seems like a really bad play. Though the goose plus food plus library interaction is pretty sweet. Eating a food is most of a card. Alright, put on top, put on top. Don't need Carpet of Flowers. I'm pretty well set on mana. Alright, let the beats continue. It might have been a good time to Zenith to get a fresh look, but I just don't want to cast spells because their hand has to be like 2 drops counterspell. I guess it could be anything. Like their hand could be like humans, 2 drops, red cards. There's so many things their hand could be, not necessarily just free counter magic. But I don't like taking actions I don't have to take in these sorts of matchups. I will Flash and Snake in the end step, though. Uh-oh. Battle Cruiser operational. Alright. Surprise Snake. Is this worth a fight? Guess I could have wasted in their main phase. Then they wouldn't be able to Red Blast here. That might have been smart. Bolting that guy. Sure, that guy's dead. Alright, I'll let my spell resolve. Oh, forgot to use my bird too. Getting disoriented, trying to keep track of what all my permanents do. Put on top, put on top. Fetch land's pretty good. Get a nice reset. Get that out of here. So I can play Carpet of Flowers, it's free. I play it in this main phase and I can activate it at the next main phase. I guess I should have waited to waste. I could have actually netted mana, so that was slightly Not good. So if I make green mana, I can Zenith for Leovold. I can pay for Spell Pierce. They have Force, that's whatever. And Leovold's in play now. Should become hard to lose here. Alright, my opponent agrees. Pack it up. That was just a classic mid-range out-muscling Delver matchup. Alright, so we're on the play. This hand has Astrolabe and a Snowland, so I'll keep it. It's kind of horrifying how dependent these legacy decks these days are on Astrolabe. Like, I don't think it's right to Force of Will and Astrolabe, but I would lose immediately if my opponent made that play. Alright, drawing the Forest gives me a little bit of hope. Alright, Underground Sea. Don't Thoughtseize me. Shit. Alright, so they're probably going to take Green Sun Zenith. That's what I would take. Though I guess all of my cards are pretty scary. Oh, they took Oko. That's great news for me. So I'm going to waste them and then Zenith for Dryad Arbor. I'm pretty sure they're a control deck or a mid-range deck and not a combo deck. A combo deck would have taken Leovold. Alright. Fair play, opponent. Alright, so we can Leovold next turn. Off our perfect spread of basic lands. I'm just slamming this. Like, our hand is fit for slamming, so that's what I'm going to do. And one of these days, my hand is going to slam all over you. Alright, let's see if they find the Force of Will. So this could be looking for Force, or it could just be now or never. Which I think end up functionally the same. Like, you have to fire off that Brainstorm there, even if you don't have Force, and if you do have Force, then you cast it. Alright, so they found one. Force, pitching Force. Okay. So that exchange was pretty good. They had to cast their Brainstorm at a weird time. We have 4 permanents to their 2. Ooh, Oko. Alright, so I could Brainstorm plus Oko. Or I could just Questing Beast. Questing Beast dies to removal. Oko gets Spell Pierced. So they both get Counterspelled. Alright, I think I'd prefer Oko to resolve in the long run, so I'm going to jam Questing Beast now. Drowned in the lock. Alright. The beast has been drowned. Gurmag Angler. Gurmelk Elkler, you mean? Let's just draw a Plague Engineer right now. Ooh, Jace. Jace is also pretty good. So now that I see Delver, that makes me wonder about Daze. And they haven't cast the cards in their hand in a while. So I'm going to lead on Oko. This plays around Daze. And then what does Oko do? I probably want to brainstorm and then make a decision. Okay, so I still have my land drop. I could get this Hierarch into play, but I don't think that I care about that. I think I want to leave Tracker on top. I'm not going to make my land drop. I'm going to save it for when I can Tracker. Alright, so if I Elk Gurmag Angler, then they have to flip Delver to kill Oko this turn. Let's see, did they do it? They didn't do it. They will next turn, though. Safe to say. They did not shuffle. Wasteland, bummer. Alright, so here come the beats at Oko. So I think I have to make my land drop first. Like, I lose a clue if they don't have Daze, but I get a Tracker if they do have Daze. So I could Elk Delver, which means that it just won't have flying. I don't think that's better than forcing a bigger attack here. I also think I want to fetch now. Just make sure I get my clue. Like if I let them untap and they have removal, that's pretty lame. Alright, Brainstorm. Uh-oh, what 3-drop do they have? Is this a Liliana? Oh no, they're just shuffling before Brainstorm. That's fine. Alright, depending on how they attack will determine how I block. Alright, they're sending everything at Oko, which means I don't have to block. Because Oko's going to die anyway. Which means I get to keep my Tracker for a turn. The goof. Land would be great. Oh, Re-Oko. Alright, so what does Re-Oko do? It turns this food into an elk. I'm definitely going to elk my food, not my clue. An actual card is worth a lot more than 2 or 3 life. At least at this stage. They have so many Brainstorms. That's the thing about Brainstorm. The first one usually finds you the second one, and then you just go forever. Says the guy who just drew his 3rd Oko in 17 cards. Alright, so I'll just chump Goyf. I'll trade. Alright, so that's an easy block. Now the question is, do I chump Goyf or do I just let Oko die? If Oko lives, what happens? Then I'm chumping again next turn. Yeah, I think I just want to leave Tracker in play. In the market for an Abrupt Decay. Alright, Zenith. Let's go to the trusty cheat sheet. I could Zenith for a Coatl. That would actually be pretty good here. Zenith for Courser doesn't help with the 5/6 that's in play already. I could also draw a card and just Hail Mary. Hope to hit a land. But I can still hit a land if I get Coatl. So that's what I'm going to do. This gets spell pierced if they have that. It gets drowned. Alright, it's worth a force of will. They're probably right about that. I'm not going to block, so I am going to attack. I have enough life that blocking is not worth doing yet. If I could get even one more clue off this tracker, I'll be pretty stoked. Oh, don't have another Tarmogoyf. Yuck. That's bad news. Alright, bonus clue. So if I cast Jace, what happens? I chump, I take 8. I could bounce one of these. And then Jace might live a little longer. So the question is what I do. If I brainstorm and they draw a removal spell, I'm just dead. So I think I bounce one of these Goyfs. I'm going to leave Tracker back because I will trade Tracker to keep Jace alive. I don't want to give them free attacks on Jace. Okay, they made the correct attacks. Do I block here? No, I think that's the same as blocking next turn. Alright, need some Abrupt Decays real quick. Alright, so I'm gonna fetch. Get Bayou, because I'm extremely interested in black mana right now. Alright, many clues. Alright, that can block. So if I block, I'm at 2. I can draw another card. Is there any reason... I guess I have more 1-drops in my deck, so I should just keep drawing cards. Alright. Tracker is just a little too small to trade with a Goyf. That's rough. So I'm going to block, fetch, go to 1. Pretty sure 1's the same as 2 against this deck. And it just turns off this fetch land in my hand, but it turns on the one in play. So. Oh no, another creature. Well, I don't have any Wraths, so pretty sure we're just dead here. Yeah, alright. Yeah, Tarmogoyf, big monster. Alright, so Veil of Summer seems like it's pretty good here. Meekstone would have won that game real fast. Plague Engineer is good. I don't think I want Trinosphere. I probably don't want Thoughtseize, but I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. I definitely don't want Force of Will. Jace is a lot better against Bug than it is against any red variant. They still have Daze in Wasteland, but they don't have Red Blast. Though, that still doesn't mean I'm going to keep it in. I'm probably not going to. Also, Questing Beast is a 4-mana card that is smaller than their 2-mana cards. So I guess it's how many Veils is correct. Oh wait, Carpet comes in against this deck. So is 3 Veil right against the over 0 Thoughtseize? I want all my creatures and all my removal. Thoughtseize is a really bad top deck, but it's really good proactively. They might have their own Veils though. Yikes. Alright. That seems like a lot of Veils, though. If they just go like Delver Tarmogoyf and I'm sitting on Veil of Summer, I'm going to look like a huge idiot. Okay, this is my deck. Alright, we're on the play, and we have Hierarch, so we can jump ahead on mana. The Dryad Arbor is super awkward, but it always will be. That's the life we chose. I'm going to get Basic Forest. I would really like to draw a normal land this turn, so I can Astrolabe plus Library. Or Astrolabe plus Snake, but I would definitely lead on Library over Snake. Regular land, Veil of Summer. I could also try to Astrolabe into the regular land. I'm going to do that. Alright, didn't get there. I'm just going to pass holding up Veil of Summer. I don't want my Dryad Arbor Fatal pushed. That would ruin my day. Alright, I can't stop Wasteland. Alright, land. Bummer. Alright, so I'm going to play a main phase Coatl, try to draw my land. By doing this, I basically told them I'm missing my land drop, and they can make decisions based on that. Alright, it worked. Didn't draw a land, but we got a card deeper, and we have a creature in play. It doesn't have Death Touch yet. I need one more permanent, I think. Yep. Ooh. They're going to hit my Astrolabe. Does that even work? No, it doesn't. They're not going to hit my Astrolabe. I think they're going to... Oh, okay. Oko's a fair one. You can revoke Astrolabe. You can't needle it. Whack. Let's try that same play again. Oh, now they have days. Alright, in for 2. We are pushing for damage. Yeah, like I said in the last matchup, getting ahead of these Delver decks on mana is really enormous. Alright, so I think I have to Zenith for a mana source. I also think I should have done that pre-combat to get an extra 1 damage. But I probably want to get Goose anyway. Oh, am I going to get drowned in the lock here? Yep. Alright. I'm surprised they didn't crack that off on Noble Hierarch, like, on their own turn last turn. As Hierarch is the only reason I'm even in this game. Oh, did they figure it out? Maybe this is Gurmag. You know you're in a bad spot when you'd prefer to see Gurmag Angler to Fatal Push. Land? Abrupt Decay. That's just what I needed. Alright, Sylvan Library. Are you out of counterspells yet? Alright, that was a good one to stick. This does not have Death Touch yet, so it has to attack. Alright, Abrupt Decay would be bad. There it is. Really, we just need a fetch land. or, mana at all. Alright, so that's my third mana, at least temporarily. I'm going to keep mushing here. Now I'm holding up Veil of Summer, which might have a target, or might do anything. If I can get just any snow permanent in play, get this Death Touch active, this would not be a competitive game. Alright, so I can't Abrupt Decay that right now, but I can someday. God, this is such a beating. I don't want to play into their Veil of Summers. They've got to have them, right? Yeah, the list that top for the GP had a couple in the sideboard. I could just jam this Plague Engineer and hope they don't daze me. I might have to do that. But if they daze, I almost lose. No, I could still draw a Snowland Abrupt Decay. Alright. Gonna try it. Gonna name Lurgoyf. Because my plan is to trade with the Gurmag and then decay the Goyf. So naming Lurgoyf saves me 1 damage this turn. Yuck. How hard would a single land have destroyed my opponent this game? Just floating that out there. Like a snow permanent. I would have traded with the Gurmag 15 damage ago. Perfect. Alright, well. You're back. I'll name Lurgoyf again. So now I chump with Goose and block Gurmag, and I still do my best to Abrupt Decay. Again, any removal spell just kills me. I'm also almost dead to this Brazen Borrower. Drawing a land here would let me Plague Engineer, naming Fairy, and hold up Veil. Oh no, do you have another Tarmogoyf, you psycho? Damn it. Alright. Now we're dead. Okay. That was a frustrating one. If we found that basic forest any turn earlier than we did, I think we're pretty easily winning. But instead we just didn't. That's magic. Alright, so we're back for round 3. We're on the play. This hand doesn't have green mana or Astrolabe, so I have to ship it. This hand has green mana. I'll keep this. I'm gonna bottom probably Oko. I think Leovold is better against a wider range of decks. I'm bottoming one of the 3s. Like if they're just like Delver or something, I'm gonna wish I had bottom Force of Will, but there's no way to know that, so safety first. Basic non-snow forest. Yeah, this has to be elves. And it looks like it is. Alright, so glad I kept that Force of Will. We're looking for Plague Engineer now. Just dig, dig, dig. Right, Visionary. Okay. Leovold does shut them down pretty hard. Like most of their engines and their combo. We can also fetch non-basics pretty fearlessly against them. I'm going to get a basic first, because we need at least one for Astrolabe. Alright, Dried Arbor, get back in my deck. Never want to see you ever again in my life. After last game, where you betrayed me. Alright, that was harsh, and also not true. Alright, so I want Underground Sea and Tropical Island. Or do I want Bayou? No, one black source should be enough. Just studying the list, trying to figure out if double blue or double black. Or, I guess we don't need triple blue. Alright, I'll get Bayou. Black, green, blue. Alright, so Leovold stops Glimpse of Nature. It also stops Elvish Visionary. It also stops them from attacking. Then we have the Force of Will to stop Natural Order. So, unless they have some major spice or major BS, we should be stable for a little while. We just have to start getting ahead. And I think getting ahead in this matchup literally comes down to finding and deploying one of our 2 Plague Engineers. Ranger Danger. Alright. Something that costs 4 is coming. Is it Natural Order time? Yeah, I'm not letting that happen. Just got to figure out what I'm pitching. Probably want to pitch Coatl. Like, if I can just slam Jace next turn and start burying them in cards, that's a good place to be. That did not happen. That's okay. Alright, so I don't need all these lands. Time to consult the deck list again. Alright, so I can Zenith for 2 this turn. I could get Ooze. I could get Coatl. Yeah, that probably makes the most sense. So if I just put back Hierarch and Forest, then I Zenith for 2, getting Coatl. Maybe draw Force of Will? Alright, didn't draw Force of Will. So now we just gotta hope they don't have a second Natural Order right now. Yeah, I like finding the snake there because that just gets me deeper. Every card that gets me deeper is a good draw. Like, Natural Order is the only live card in their deck right now. And they probably only play 3. So, you just gotta dodge a 2 of. Alright, they're moving to combat. That means we dodged for 1 more turn. Alright, so I'm gonna play Jace. And I'm gonna Fate Seal them first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess they could hard cast Craterhoof Behemoth next turn. So we're trying to dodge Natural Order and Behemoth, so probably 3 cards in their whole deck. And pretty soon Jace is going to take over. Alright, now I'm going to start brainstorming. Come on, Plague Engineer. Alright, Force of Will also very good. Still don't think I can attack yet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm 1 mana short of deploying this Ooze and holding up Force. They're not wide enough to kill Jace yet. I'm gonna get my Dryad Arbor. Come on, Engineer. Alright, so Zenith is a good card. Library is a good card. Ooze doesn't actually do anything. Oko actually isn't good either. So I'm going to put back Oko and Ooze. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So I can play the library and still have Force of Will up. Pendlehaven is big beats. Still doesn't get through Leovold though. God, that card is big and dumb. Yes, I'll put that on top. And Questing Beast actually kills them pretty quick, but that's not what I'm really interested in. I'm interested in Plague Engineer, so I'm going to shuffle again and then Brainstorm with Jace. I've seen roughly a billion jillion cards this turn. So Goose and Wasteland back. Casting Astrolabe and Coatl this turn, probably. So I'll pick up the Wasteland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana available. I could Zenith for Questing Beasts and start killing them. I could Zenith for Coatl. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I want a Zenith for Coatl. I definitely want a Zenith to shuffle. I guess I could get Courser or Tracker. I think I'm going to Zenith for Courser. I should have saved my land drop to do this. I messed that up. I'm just a noob with this deck. Courser, I think, is better than Tracker. Yep. Should have saved my land drop. Lesson learned. But now I have Jace plus Courser, which is basically draw infinite cards every turn. And we have Force to dodge one Haymaker this turn. Let's hope they can't cast 2. Hex Drinker, huh? What do I do about Hex Drinker? Probably just lose. 1, 2. Yeah, they can level it to 1,000 right now. Yeah, I'll force that because I have to, and if they have Natural Order, I'm dead. Alright, looks like I got lucky. I should have wasted that Cradle. Yes. Put on top. Put on top. So make my land drop for the turn. Gain a life. Brainstorm. So they're seeing all these cards because of the library. All right, let's clear this Cradle. Now I'm attacking for 5 a turn, just trying to fade their Haymakers. I probably could have been chipping at least last turn with Ice Fang Coatl. Yeah, we're both looking for a 2-outer, but I have Jace plus Library. But if they just have it, then it doesn't matter what the odds were. It's just... Alright, Wirewood Symbiote. One of the best cards in their deck. It's a lot worse when they can't Elvish Visionary. Alright, so my top card is Goose and Land. I can work through the land naturally, so I don't need to spend my fetch. Alright, put on top, put on top. So now I get to land drop that. I can shuffle away this Goose I don't want. Oh, Goose is still on top. Come on, Plague Engineer. Alright, we found a force. I'll take that. A Goose. Questing Beast is going to chunk for another 5. My opponent's creatures can't block it because they all have power 2 or less. Just noshing up this board. Here are all the words if you're not familiar with this card. My opponent is probably trying to block it right now and realizing they cannot. I definitely suspect their hand is full of like glimpses and such. So Leovold definitely MVP. Put on top, put on top. Play that. I think I'm running out of lands to fetch. I think I have one more forest and that's it. Put back you and you. It's because I'm just going to redraw that right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I'm going to fetch my forest. That is the last fetchable land in the deck. Alright, there's Abrupt Decay. That doesn't actually matter. Alright, with my geese and everything, I have lots of mana. So I can get a Coatl. There's one left. Just that Moto Bug striking again. Alright, so we didn't even have to show them the engineer. Unless they like double spell me this turn, we should be good. I don't care about Hexdrinker anymore because I have Abrupt Decay. They have to have Natural Order into Natural Order. Just the double spell. Alright, they're tapping for something. Is this just Crater Hoof? I hope they don't... Oh, this is Zenith for Crater Hoof. Oh, it's Glimpse of Nature. Resolves. That was pretty smart. Play the Glimpse, hoping to bait me like I forget I have Leovold. I would probably make that play in real life. Just force the Zenith. I don't care about the Glimpse. So I could just decline this to hide information, but I don't think I need to. Top, top. And then I'll just attack them for 5 one more time. Questing Beast. Welcome to Legacy. Alright, so in the sideboard, we probably want Thoughtseize. Trinisphere is likely pretty good here. We might want Needles. Probably not, though. Definitely Plague Engineer. Alright, what is not so good? Leovold was great. Oko does very little in this matchup, which is kind of awkward because we're an Oko deck. I guess it's time to figure out how the deck performs without its namesake. We need the Force. Veil of Summer doesn't do much. Like, they're going to bring in probably Discard and probably Abrupt Decays. I just don't think this card is good enough on its own to bring in. Yeah, so Needle can name Wirewood Symbiote or Hexdrinker. Or Pendlehaven in a pinch, I guess. I hope it doesn't come to that. Right, do I just cut every Oko? I think I might. And I need one more card out of here. Questing Beast won me the last game. Well, it did all the damage. I don't know that, like I think Ice Fang Coatl would have won last game too, just a lot slower. Yeah, Questing Beast probably is not what I want. I don't expect my opponent to have any Planeswalkers. They might have Nissa. The 5-mana not Shakes the World. I've lost track of what all the Nissas are called at this point. They might have Progenitus, but Karakas can't bounce that anyway. Does Trinisphere even slow them down meaningfully? Like, I can turn 2 Trinisphere, but I'm on the draw. Maybe I'll bring that back in on the play and just stick to my Needles now. Alright, let's go to Value Town. Alright, so I'm going to keep this hand. It can accelerate and it can remove things. It can't counter anything, but if we can remove things at an appropriate rate, then we don't have to do that. Like, I'm planning on turn 1 Goose, turn 2 Zenith for something. Oh, come on, Wasteland. Ooh, Thoughtseize. Alright, I'm going to save the Thoughtseize. I'm going to get Bayou to play around Choke. So Elves can turn to you, it's just not super likely, especially after board. So I'm just going to hold on to this Thoughtseize for a minute. Oh, Zenith for another Dryad Arbor. If there's ever a time to draw Plague Engineer off the top, just name Forest or Dryad. Alright, that Cradle's pretty good. I still want Plague Engineer off the top. You can go ahead and lock that in for the whole match. I want Plague Engineer off the top for life. Alright, we have Force, but not a blue card. I didn't really keep track of my blue count. It's possible that we just can't even support this card if we board out all our Okos. Alright, so I kind of want to Abrupt Decay Quarian Ranger first. I guess it doesn't matter. I was thinking to play around Veil of Summer, but it doesn't actually matter. Alright, so take the natural order. Black, green. So I think it's actually better to Thoughtseize first, because then we can Abrupt Decay in response to Veil of Summer if they have it. Right, so their hand is Glimpse of Nature and no other cards. If they draw an elf, they do actually just have tons of mana. Uh-oh. We could die here. Let's hope we don't. Draw a land. Miss. Miss, miss, miss. Oh no, they're doing something. Zenith for 1. They're going to get Wirewood Symbiote. Oh, they got Hex Drinker. Okay. That is certainly a thing you can do. Alright, so Hex Drinker goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is just a champion next turn. That happened very quickly. That's pretty cool. Alright, so what can I Zenith for? I can Zenith for 2. I guess I just have to get Coatl. And do I have any outs to this thing once it goes into Progenitus mode? I don't think that I do. I guess Coatl's blue and Brainstorm is blue. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 plus 4. Yeah, that's a level 8 Hex Drinker. And my Okos are out, so I can't even make lots of foods. I don't have a combo kill. What does Leovold do? Does it do anything? Nope, I think I'm just dead. Alright. Hex Drinker snuck in there. Alright, so my Needles, definitely right to have those in. Alright, now that I'm on the play, I like Trinisphere. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 blue cards. That's like a little low, but probably fine. Meekstone also answers. I don't want to crap up my deck too far, just in case I get Hex Drinkered. Yeah, I'm not gonna bring in Meekstone. I probably shouldn't bring in Trinisphere either. Though, maybe it is good. I don't know, but what am I cutting for? What card is worse than Trinisphere in this pile? I mean, Jace is a little wonky against elves because they usually have bodies around to kill it, and like bouncing any one thing doesn't do anything. You have to be like on a stable board for Jace to take over. But with 3 Plague Engineers, hopefully my board will be stable. I don't think I can cut a Thoughtseize. Maybe Meekstone is just better. It's like let them Progenitus and then... Oh, or maybe just as is. Yeah, it's not that I think these cards are bad. It's just that I don't think they're better than cards that are already in my deck. Alright, let's do it. Same 75. We were just a blue card short last game. If we could have forced the Zenith, we would have won that one. We also haven't looked at a Plague Engineer yet. Alright, this hand ramps and brainstorms. I'm going to keep it. I don't think we're supposed to mulligan looking for Plague Engineer in this matchup. Oh, this hand doesn't ramp. Dried Arbor's in the hand. I'm an idiot. Alright, that's fine though. It does cantrip still. Alright, so I can brainstorm the Dryad Arbor back and then Zenith it out next turn. Nettle Sentinel. Alright, Force of Will, thanks for showing up. Oh, we found a Plague Engineer. For the first time in our lives. Alright, so I'll put back one of these fetch lands. Zenith for 0. Get that Arbor I just put back in the deck. Alright, we can force if we have to this turn. Nettle Sentinel is the split worst 1-drop, best 1-drop. Like, it doesn't ramp you, which is bad, but it does go off with Heritage Druid, which is good. So, depending on the texture of their hand, this is either a brick or phenomenal. Ooh, and we can find out which. So I'm going to get to Thoughtseize them, take their Abrupt Decay, and then jam Plague Engineer. Just hope we don't get Veil of Summered. Glimpse of Nature, Quarian Ranger. Take the Glimpse. And then hopefully this ends the game. Elf. Alright. We finally got the hooks in. They're going to get Dryad Arbor here. That will ramp up their Cradle. There's the Cradle. Oh, it's just natural ordering. That was a really good draw. Good thing I'm a blue deck. All right, let's keep some spells going here. Yeah, now we're kind of tenuous. They can make 4, so Natural Order for Progenitus is live. Not after the attack, it isn't. But we do need some additional pressure. Let's see if they fetch and response. Alright, they did. Bayou. I'm gonna name Hex Drinker. Oh god, do they have Abrupt Decay? Wow, they have drawn well. Alright. So now we definitely need action. We are way behind. I guess behind isn't the right word. The board is pretty comparable, but they have way better top decks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that was a pretty good draw. That makes their Haymaker top decks a little worse. But we are behind on board now. All right, did they draw Natural Order also? Just 3 in a row? I hope they did. Now this is... What costs 6 green? Oh, they drew Crater Hoof. Oh no, this is a Zenith for 6. Yeah, that gets the Archon of Valor's Reach. I'm going to get Bayou to play around Choke. My Astrolabes can fix. Alright, maybe they're out of rips. They've been ripping a lot. Let's drop Plague Engineer. Again. I will definitely block. I'll block the creature that's not an elf. That one also represents mana. Come on, Plague Engineer. Uh-oh. How lucky are they? They've had 4 draw steps since I saw their hand last, and they cast 3 Giant Haymakers. I guess I didn't put this in my deck not to cast it. Oh, did I know that was there? That was probably bad. Whoops. Alright, just took a turn off the clock. Ugh. We're getting elf so hard right now. Zenith is a good draw. Obviously, Plague Engineer, best draw. Alright, we found a Zenith. So I could get Leovold, or I could get... I think I have to get Courser. Yeah, my life total's too low to be, like, abusing Tracker. So I'm going to get Courser. Gain some life, have a big blocker. We're still dead to their top decks. Like that one. And, like, I could have got Leovold, but I just bleed out to Leovold anyway. As being at 3 life and they have 3 attackers. Alright, well, I can F6 because I'm hellbent. Yeah, they drew a lot better than I needed them to this game. Also, did I know about that Savannah in their hand? Because that's brutal to be down 2 life for no reason if I did know about that. I definitely lost track of it either way. Oh god, do you have Zenith? I'll just let them combo off for a while. Hope I'm not dead. If I'm not dead, I have a couple looks at Engineer. Oh no, they had Archon. That's brutal. So I can't cast Instants anymore. Alright, Coatl into Coatl. Blue-green. Play my land for turn. Gain a life. I'm gonna fetch a basic island. Trying to find that Plague Engineer on the top. The Underground Sea. Abrupt Decay is an instant, unfortunately. Alright, so I'm not dead on board. But I am way behind. They can't attack with Archon. Though they have Symbiote active, so they're drawing 3 cards a turn, at minimum. This game has gotten really sweet. It's not a legend, so bringing in Caracas wouldn't have helped. Alright, they've certainly made a lot of mana. Oh no, the mana left the pool. Alright, yeah, we're dead. Yeah, that sucked. It was close for a while. Like I said, they had, in 4 draw steps, drew 3 Haymaker spells in a row. Oh well. How close were we? Not really. Alright. Yeah, against elves with these fair mid-range decks, like, you have to lock them out. You can't value them. Like, planeswalkers and like plussing Oko and stuff is not going to beat an elves deck. Like, brainstorming with Jace is not going to beat an elves deck by itself. You need to actually lock them out with like Chalice of the Void, Trinisphere, Plague Engineer, something like that, and then also pressure them because they can just rip Abrupt Decay at any point and be out. So that showcased the power of elves. Also showcased how unfortunate we are at drawing our Plague Engineers in the main deck. But whatever. Magic the Gathering, folks. At least that game was really sweet. Alright, so back for round 4. We're on the play. This is a keep. I'm going to get my basic forest. Play around Wasteland whenever I can. And so should you. Noble Hierarch is better than Goose because it can tap for mana every turn. Goose is just every other turn. But Goose can make black and Hierarch can't, which I imagine is the point of the split. Alright, so we're against some sort of blue Astrolabe deck. Could be the Mirror. Could be anything. Okay. Don't need this Bayou. And I don't think I need this Goose anymore either. So I could Zenith for 1. Or I could cast Snake. I think I want a Zenith for 1. It'll get me pretty far ahead of their mana development. Just get another Hierarch. And then my Snake is a huge beat stick. Alright, Hierarchs. It's passing turn 2 with 4 mana available. And we snuck a Brainstorm in there. Pretty strong. Maybe this is the Mirror. Not with that main deck Thoughtseize, it isn't. They're probably taking Oko, but all the cards in my hand are good. Though Zenith for Leovold is probably good against whatever they're doing. Or any mid-range blue deck. It's probably soft to Zenith for Leovold. I think Force of Will is my best draw, because that would make sure my Leovold sticks. Plague Engineer, whatever. Alright, so... well, let's swing for the fences here. I could have attacked for 2, but I think holding up my fetch land's probably safer. That doesn't make any sense. For some reason in my head, I was thinking 3 was enough for Leovold, but you need 4 because it's Zenith. It's not actual Leovold. Yikes. Alright. Brutal. At least we got a 2 for 1 off that Zenith. Got rid of Snapcaster Mage. Still not going to fetch here. Alright, now I can attack. Shit. Alright, they're also a snake deck, confirmed. Snake. We also saw Snapcaster, human. What else is likely to be in this deck? What do I name with Plague Engineer? Let's see if it resolves before I waste a lot of brain power on it. Alright, it totally resolved. I think Snake is a good name. Because that's their flash creature. That's the one, or that's the death touch creature that can actually trade up. Alright, Oko. Oak. Alright, the race is on. Oh, the race is not on. Oh, sick. That was a good draw. Let's just pick up 1,000 cards while we can. Alright, so that's going to become an elk very quickly, but it'll be a 4/4 elk because I'm going to sack a clue in response. Oh, they're just making food. Oh, they want to steal my tracker. How devious. They can't steal my tracker because it'll be too big. Sure, decayed. Sylvan Library is pretty good. And Goose. Goose can attack for some amount of damage. Alright, they could trade for one of my creatures here. I don't think that's even good, though. Like, unless their hand is just full of snakes. Ugh. Jace is good. Jace versus Sylvan Library. The classic battle is beginning now. I wonder if they're just a like bug value deck without the Zenith package. If they just have like Snapcasters and Thoughtseizes instead of the Zenith stuff. Questing Beast would be a really exciting draw. Just kill their Jace. Does it have trample? Maybe trample isn't one of the words on it. Vigilance, death touch, haste. No, it does not have trample. Okay, so it wouldn't kill their Jace. It would kill their Arkham's Astrolabe and then become an elk itself. My next Plague Engineer is naming elk. Oh, they do want my Plague Engineer. Sure. So now my snakes don't work. Aggressive. So I could fetch for Dryad Arbor right now. Or I could try use the Misty to shuffle. What would having Dryad Arbor in play even do? I don't think anything. Ooh, Courser's hot. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't have enough mana for Force of Will. I probably do want the Zenith, though. See, they have 2 cards left. It wouldn't surprise me if it's Force Blue card, because that's just how this works when your opponent has Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yep. Confirmed. Now we Zenith for Oko, and then it immediately becomes an Elk. God, that's annoying. Alright, I think I just have to Zenith for my other Courser. Try to get a little value. I would draw a card if they turn this into an Elk, right? Spell or ability, yeah. Is Courser better? Courser can block Elks. Alright. Yeah, Courser will also take over this game long term if it doesn't become an Elk right away, which I'm sure it will. And by take over this game, I mean die to Jace, but otherwise, Courser's pretty strong. Yeah, Thoughtseize, them knowing exactly what I was up to and being able to navigate it was a huge deal here. I'll have Thoughtseize after board, though. Wish I had some Spell Pierces for this matchup. Yep. Brainstorm into Ponder. They were hellbent 1 second ago. Now they have a million cards. Oh, that Ponder was a shuffle, too. Shit. Alright, yeah, we're dead. Their Leovold's a lot better than my Leovold when they have Oko and I don't. Alright, so we lost to Oko. Whoever has the first Oko wins. Alright, Veil of Summer seems very good against the Thoughtseize Abrupt Decay deck. I'll have my own Thoughtseizes. I don't know if I want Needles. I probably don't want Forces. Which seems so weird considering how brutal their permanents are. I still just like don't think I want them. Plague Engineer doesn't have a really great name. Is it just Veils and Thoughtseizes? Just try to curve out and out-creature them. They have better spells than me, but I should have better creatures and better access to my creatures. I think the Engineer should just go. It would be funny to name Elk with this, so my Elks are 3/3s and theirs are 2/2s. That would be something. Alright, maybe I want one Needle in case they have a Planeswalker that I don't. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so if we learned anything last game, it's that Oko is important. Therefore, I'll keep this hand with 3 Okos in it. I'm Thoughtseize proof. I guess that's not all the way true. If they take my Courser, I'd be a little sad. They would pretty much have to if they Thoughtseize me here. I will ram Oko onto the stack next turn, though. Alright, Ponder. That's good news. So they don't know I have all these Okos. Hopefully I can get a Force out of one of them. Or it just resolves. I also accept that. So now they have to deal with this Oko before they even play a creature, because I can just trade for stuff. I do need a land, though. Abrupt decay. Oh no. We're back. Oko feeding the goose is pretty nice. This hand would not be functioning without that. Ooh. Loco Oko mirror. Alright, I drew a land. What does my land do? It casts Jace. Yeah, that's pretty good. Please don't have Force of Will. Nice. I don't have enough snow permanents to do anything good with this. I do want to put that to the bottom. Make a food. They could switch their food for my goose. That would be kind of annoying. Snapcaster, Abrupt Decay. Whoop. All 3 Okos currently relevant. Alright, Jay's taking some beats. Alright, so I still have to cast Oko. Back again. I'm gonna make this into an elk. I'm gonna send this elk to the Shadow Realm. And then just hold. As they could trade me their Snapcaster for my food, just upgrade that, but that makes their Oko really low on loyalty. I don't even think that's good. That's a lot of brainstorms. Those 2 brainstorms almost caught up with Jace. I do have to be careful with Corsair because Oko can trade for Corsair. Just trade a creature or food for my Corsair. So I got to put some damage on Oko before I deploy that. So got to watch out for snakes. Alright, so let's see what they care about. They should probably take Sylvan Library. Unless they're setting up a Leovold. Alright, they took the library. They can trade Astrolabe for my food now and attack with Snapcaster. That's pretty gross. I would definitely chump with Goose. That also lets me slam Courser, so I don't think that play is very good. We'll see what they decide. Alright, they are making the switch. Alright, sorry Goose, you're dead. Served me well. See you later. I don't think I fetched Dryad Arbor here. Ooh, Wasteland is tight. so I'm going to slam Courser first. Oh, there's the Dryad Arbor. I'll get my advantage, my cards where I can get them. Then, so if I plus Jace, I'm not really worried about that. Because I can plus Oko to stabilize the board. Yeah, definitely Brainstorm time. Alright, so they know about this Wasteland now. I could just go Nuclear and trade them their Astrolabe back, killing my Oko, and attack their Oko. I don't think that's good, though. I do think this is good. Attacking their Oko with my Astrolabe. That forces a block. Then I have a slightly better board than them. Coming into the stretch here. Well, I had a slightly better board. Oh, please Thoughtseize me. No, they're gonna Brainstorm. I can dream. It's allowed. Leovold would be pretty lame. Alright, so they can elk up their Snapcaster. That just makes it a 3-3 instead of a 2-2. Doesn't actually do anything. Oh, I guess they could Plague Engineer me. Or maybe it's just a free attack. Maybe I just double block. How about that? Alright, this line gets super blown out by Abrupt Decay. It was probably really bad. Alright, so this makes me think they do have Plague Engineer. Or else why would they care about putting 3 damage on my Courser? Just naming Centaur. Plague Engineer on Centaur, spotted in Legacy. Alright, so now I definitely shuffle my deck. I don't want those lands if I don't have Courser to work through them. Let's Brainstorm and find some juice. It's not super juicy, but it's not bad. Ooh, it's Questing Beast time. Hold on. Back it up. Hold the phone. Yeah, Questing Beast kills Oko. That's pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna play land. Questing Beast is in my deck, right? Okay, good. Please resolve. Yes. Beast mode. Attack my opponent. Take Oko down with it. Alright, so I could elk up Dryad Arbor or just make a food. Could also trade. Trading always seems better than it actually is. So this would stop being a forest, but I think I have plenty of mana. Yeah, I'd rather just stabilize the board. That's the best Questing Beast is ever going to be. So, like I said in the first round, the difference between our deck is they have Snapcaster Mage and I have Green Sun Zenith. So, we can figure out, we can debate later which of these is better right now. All right, they have been cantripping a lot, though. They are 10 cards deeper into their deck than I am. They have 33, I have 43. But I've had Jace and Oko active for basically the whole game. I've activated Oko every turn in this game starting on turn 2. That's pretty funny. It's now turn 7, so I've activated Oko 5 times. 5 Okos. Well, 3 Okos, activated a total of 5 times. Oh, don't cast Questing Beast? Oh, they have Jace. Alright, so Jace bounces my Questing Beast. Or bounces Dryad Arbor, that's even better. Okay, so we are basically trading Jaces here. I'm going to let that happen. Having this unblockable 4-power monster is definitely better than whatever my opponent's up to over there. Attack them, kill their Jace. Dryad Arbor's back. I think I just want to Alk it back up. Another Jace. Alright. We're going to do that same thing again. Do they have a Thoughtseize? They slow rolling a Thoughtseize all along. That was pretty good. Tight plays. Respect. That's a good one. So I can attack their Jace. So I will. I'm going to make the attack first. So I want them to make the block, make the trade, before they realize that I have Leovold and they're just don't get to Jace anyway. I'm not convinced wasting anything actually matters. Alright, so Oko is in the stratosphere. I can definitely trade next turn if I want to. Hopefully they don't have a clean answer to Oko. I mean, there are no clean answers to Oko. I'm going to draw a card pretty much regardless. But I hope that they just have nothing at all. Just pass the turn. Oh, Abrupt Decay. They just took their medicine. Let's draw Veil of Summer. Yes. Boo. Alright. That's dead. So they went for the Brainstorm rather than the Fate Seal. Fate Seal would get them out of Elk range, but they probably just have to Brainstorm to function in the game. Pretty sure Tireless Tracker is still in my deck. Engineer. Is it time to name Elk? Snake. Okay, fine. Oh, good. And they're Hellbent, so I don't even have to think about what they might have. I guess Leovold is better, isn't it? I got so excited about Tracker, but here's Leovold. Yeah, Leovold is just better. Fine. My food will become a plague engineer. And here's noble hierarch. So they can bounce Plague Engineer to get it back with Jace, but I draw a card in the process there. Basically turning my food token into a clue token that takes a loyalty off Jace. What a wild ride this has been. Alright, so no brainstorms allowed. They didn't shuffle when they could have, so what are they working with here? Is this Toxic Deluge for 3? That's a dangerous game. But if they have it, they have to do it. I guess it's not a dangerous game. I gave them a food, so they can gain 3. Targeting Plague Engineer. Veil of Summer. Boo. I did board those in, right? Yep, all of them. Got it. Alright, so they can reap... Oh, they have red mana. So they can name Human, which will kill my Hierarch. Alright, that's fine. Ooh, also Leovold. Shouldn't they have done this first? So I guess I would have still drawn one card. Alright, so I want to Elk their Leovold. They're currently Hellbent though, so I'm going to make my plays before I do that. Don't need that. Tireless Tracker, hell yeah. Alright, so they're going to draw a card, but they're going to lose their Leovold. It'll just become a different 3/3. And I have Tracker coming in next turn. It is a human, so it's affected by Plague Engineer. Leovold is green. That's never not true, but it's especially true now. Oh, they can... Oh, they target themselves, or else I would just draw the card. Yeah, plussing yourself seems smart there. They left it on top. Must be a hot one. They're making their attacks. I'm definitely not blocking. Yeah, trading with Oko is not where this game is going to go. There's been a surprising amount of that, though. Been genuinely impressed by how much trading has happened in this matchup so far. You drew a Force of Will. Oh, you drew a Snake. Okay. Drown in the Lock? Drowned in the Lock. Bummer. It's a good card. Alright, let's get this island out of the deck. Zenith is a good one. Maybe. I feel like all of my green creatures are dead already. Oh, there's another spell. Oh no, it's just gain 3. That's fine. Ooh, Bouncing Snapcaster, super tight. So they can probably... Oh, they're going to decay. I wonder if... Probably Leovold. So I could shuffle and just YOLO Swaggins look for the Veil of Summer. There's 3 of them in my deck. Let's do it. Abrupt Decay's not bad. Alright, so is there anything I want to Abrupt Decay now while the getting's good? I don't think so. Alright, Leovold's dead. If I pick off this, maybe I just pick off nothing. Or I could target their elk. Alright, so I'm gonna pick off their 3/3 so I can make my food into a 3/3. Oh, there's the Veil. We were so close. I'm just going to attack Jace here. So they probably just don't block. Unless their last card is a removal spell. No! Yeah, we needed that Veil last turn. Now we're pretty dead. Alright, well, the way they blocked leaves Oko alive, but they have Jace. So if they bounce my food with Jace, then they're way ahead on board. Oh, and they drew Oko. Alright, yeah, they navigated their way through this game really well. I also like their deck a lot better than mine, I'm not gonna lie. These Thoughtseizes seem way better. Oh god, alright. You got me. I've had enough. Stop the damn match. Yeah, that deck looks sweet. I want to try that. That was a classic case of our opponent was playing the same deck as us, but had better cards. Like, usually that happens in limited, not constructed, but I think they found the line there. That Thoughtseize and Snapcaster Mage go a long way compared to Green Sun Zenith. We were just about out of Zenith targets at the end of that game, too. Alright, so we're on the draw here. It's huge punish to have Dryad Arbor in the opener with the Zenith, so we don't actually get to ramp. But Brainstorm being able to put it back is nice. I could also just run it out there and hope it doesn't die. Do its best actual land impression. I'm going to do that. Like, it has to be like Swords of Plowshare's Wasteland Lightning Bolt. Uh-oh. Do they have it? Oh, that might be... It's not worse. I was about to say it might be worse, but it's not. It is bad, though. Alright, so... What do I do now? I think I can Zenith for some 1-drop. Any of my Zenith targets get me out of this. Plague Engineer naming core before it connects could get me out of this. So looking for Abrupt Decay. Alright, so... Yeah, I think casting Zenith to get a mana creature here makes sense. I wish I knew if Stoneblade was into Wasteland these days, but I'm going to play like they are, because they always are. Every time you don't play around Wasteland, your opponent has it. That's just a rule. Actual law of Magic the Gathering. So they can't play and equip this turn. It gives us a small amount of breathing room. Nemesis. That's rough. They can play and equip next turn. It's time for Plague Engineer. Oh, Abrupt Decay. Right on time. Alright, so... green, black, blue, green. Okay, so I can cast Coatl and Abrupt Decay next turn. That Abrupt Decay was clutch. We are definitely not winning this game if Jitte connects in this spot. Okay, they were not quite on it anyway. Now they are. Alright, so we got to dig for Plague Engineer. So I'm going to Snake plus Brainstorm at the end of turn here. Maybe Brainstorm first to play around Spell Pierce, but maybe it's fine. Hope it's fine, because I've done it. Huh. Alright, so... I don't think I need 2 Okos, and I don't think I need a Goose at this point. So I'm going to fetch. Gotta figure out for what. Probably it has to be Black Source. Probably Bayou. Alright, I can Brainstorm again, or I can just play Wasteland. Could also jam Sylvan Library. Guess I should have played Wasteland first and tapped that. Alright. Didn't get super punished. So I have to hold up Abrupt Decay or else I lose. And I have to hope they don't have Swords to Plowshares. Because if they plow my Noble Hierarch, then I can't cast Abrupt Decay. We should be in the clear from that anyway. Alright, I'm going to let them spend the mana to equip it before I mess with anything else. Yep. Alright, so now we really need to find our Plague Engineer. If we can take the pressure off of this thing, it might be okay. I guess Oko also producing foods takes a lot of the pressure off of that. Lame. Plague Engineer. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I can play Courser. I think I want to do that. This gives me a spike for Oko. And Brainstorm gives me value also. And getting some life gain and a thing that can block Stoneforge Mystic on board. Yeah, there's a lot to like about casting Courser here. They're deciding if that's worth a Force of Will. Alright, they think that's worth a Force of Will. They might be right. Do I force back is the question. If I do force back, do I pitch Oko or Snake? Because if I hit a land off this Brainstorm, I can Snake this turn. But Oko is my best plan against the True Name. I'm going to pitch the Snake. Because if I do that, if I find the land, I can still cast Library this turn. Alright, lots of lands. So I'm going to put back this and this. Play this land. Gain this life. Play this library. Alright. I have Brazen Borrower covered now with the snake. Oh, that should have attacked. My bad. So I can block Borrower with snake. Just gotta find one of my engineers. Boo. Oh, wow. I need a Plague Engineer. So bad. Somehow still not poisonous. Come on, deck. Deliver. They only have one card in hand, so there's no counterspell they could have that gets the engineer if I find it. Fairy Rogue. Oh my god, I can name Rogue and just answer all of these. That's so messed up. Engineer. Did not find Engineer. Abrupt Decay is not going to help me. On top, on top. Fetch. Underground Sea. Yeah, I have a lot of green mana already. Alright, so if I cast Brainstorm, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana left. That is enough to Oko plus food. But I really just want the engineer. I need it. Let's go. Alright, we did not find the engineer. Found another Courser. I already made my land drop for the turn, so Courser's not helping me right now. Good Oko plus Goose. Put those two back. Yeah, I can Oko Goose and activate a food. The Goose can block Stoneforge Mystic. Alright, so they're going to spend a turn killing Oko, I'm sure. Which is fine, because that's another turn. I'll remember to attack this time. That's another turn I get. Digging with Library. Alright, let's see how they want to play this. Do they want to go face and ignore Oko? They shuffled it. Ooh, they have another color. That's scary. What's that for? Oh, it's for Oko, obviously. Green mana in your blue decks is for Oko, which is what we've learned. Jace is a huge asshole. Well, no activation pre-combat. They're figuring out where these true names are going. Alright, they are attacking Oko. Deal. So Oko with the old gain 9. Come on, engineer. Alright, bonus Oko. So I put the island on top. if I pay 4, I'm not quite dead. I think I am just going to pay 4 here. Green, green, colorless. Get my life and my land drop. Then green, blue, another color, Ryoko, refood. I didn't have enough green to leave up make a food with Goose. Attack Jace. My creature has death touch now, Jace is dead. That's not really how that works. I wish it was. Wasteland has a target now too. Unfortunately, I've just needed 8 mana on all of my last turns. If they find like Sword of Fire and Ice or anything, I just die. Because that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so Sword of Fire and Ice kills me. Please don't have that. This Jace has Brainstorm twice. Brazen Borrower waiting in the wings. That's a really aggressive plow considering Leovold's on top of my deck. Alright, clearing Oko again. Deal. I'm going to gain 3. Alright, we're now 2 full hits away from being dead to these true names. Yes. Ooh. How greedy do I want to be? I guess it's all fine. Top. Astrolabe to pick up the Leovold. I guess if they have like exactly Force of Negation and not Force of Will, that would be a huge punish. Or if they can make me shuffle my deck somehow. If they predict me here, that would be a brutal ending to this story. Green, black, blue. This turn I'm definitely wasting their trop. Alright, it's in there. Clear that out. So if I attack Jace with Dryad Arbor, they can't block with Brazen Borrower, but they can surprise me with Batterskull. So I think attacking with Goose is the right play. Because I'd rather trade Goose for Brazen Borrower than Icefang Coatl. Maybe? I don't know. It's close. Like, Goose can gain me life. It can, like, effectively counter one of the True Nemesis attacks every turn. Alright. So they're committing to the block anyway. That's fine. My top card is Jace, which doesn't help against these true names. Alright, so now I'm through that. Alright, that buys me another true name attack I can absorb. We're just digging for these Plague Engineers. Like, as soon as we find one, we're just golden. And they're going to need another flying blocker or removal spell to clear my... keep my Quaddle from killing Jace this turn. Uh-oh. Is it Oko time? Oko clock? First it's attack o'clock. I'm glad they didn't attack with Stoneforge, because I was trying to figure out if I would block and with what. I'm glad they didn't make me figure it out. Alright, let's gain life while the mana's free. Snapcaster Mage doing what? Probably plowing Coatl. That's fine. And it saves Jace. Alright, deck. Let's go. Plague Engineer. Killing me, Smalls. Alright. What creatures are still in my deck? There's another Leovold in there. I don't have time or... I don't have space or time for that Force of Will. Oko's probably really good. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I could Zenith for 4 plus Oko. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're attacking me for 9 next turn. Which would be my life total if I keep an extra one of these. Alright, I'll put Oko on top. Oh, I should have kept Oko. Because then I could have Jaced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I have to Zenith for 2 if I want to cast Jace. Or I could cast Jace, try to find a land. But I know my top 2 cards are not lands. It's a tough spot. Alright, I'm just going to go for the Zenith. Yep, there is still a Leovold in my deck. I have to attack Jace here. They're just going to trade Snapcaster for my Dryad Arbor, which sucks because I'm down a land. But I do have to pressure these resources. That's trouble. So they're probably going to get the Sword of Fire and Ice, so it's like now or never for this Plague Engineer. I guess if they have land, it doesn't even matter. Oh, Batterskull. Okay. And I guess that kills me the same way. They just put it on a true name. Alright, Plague Engineer, come on. Alright, did not target me, unfortunately. They bottomed their card. Plague Engineer. Plague Engineer. Shit. Alright, Goose is definitely going on top of the deck. So how much are they attacking for? It's 7, 8, 9, 10. So Oko doesn't even help. Is there a way I can dig deeper here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I pay 4 and go to 3, then resolve Jace, and brainstorm into if the two unknown cards on top of my deck are exactly Plague Engineer land, we can still do this. But then I'm at 2 and they can attack around my creatures. Oh, it's bad. I think I have to make that play though. Alright. It's rough, but here it is. Playing to my outs. Zenith. Force of Will not helpful. Oko not helpful. None of these are helpful and I'm dead. Oh, that was rough. The fact that we've spent every turn of every match just like hoping to draw Plague Engineer is a sign that that card is a really good main deck inclusion and also probably too good. Alright, so I can needle their equipments, Thoughtseize, their face, Engineer, their creatures. Force of Will is not really what I'm looking for. At least not the full boat of them. Courser was great. Tracker will be great. Oko's good against their non-True Name Nemesis cards. Maybe I just have to play all the way fair, cut my forces. And they have Snapcaster Mage, but like not really any other reason for me to have Scavenging Ooze in my deck. Alright, let's salvage this. We've had a lot of really sweet games that we've come out just on the wrong side of in this league so far. Alright, for the first time in our lives, we drew an opening hand with Zenith, but not Dryad Arbor. I guess I've done this a few times. I'm being dramatic. But definitely the awkward start last game put us way behind. And I hope they don't have back to basics, because this hand is really soft to it. It is really strong against various X1 rogue creatures, though. I'm ready for that. Alright, they didn't Swords to Plowshares me immediately, so that's good. I should have played the Underground Sea if I was gonna attack. Alright, so is it Stoneforge time? Oh, plow time. Alright, fine. I'll get basic island since I have all my colors. I didn't see a wasteland out of them. It's conceivable they could play back to basics, though. Alright, so there's the island and snake. Spell Snare is really the only good answer to this thing here. Alright, so I got my card off it. Hello. I'll attack and see what they do. Like, see if they get jumpy on a Swords to Plowshares or something, then I'm just going to slam Oko. My hand is really well suited to slamming. So, like, if I slam Oko, they force, they slam True Name, I slam Plague Engineer. Like, I'm ready for a slam game. Spell Pierce would be pretty lame. Alright, Force Negation's fine. As long as I get a 2-for-1 off it, it's a deal. And they pitched a Jace. So get that right out of here. Alright, so I'm just going to play Bug Flash deck until they give me a reason to do anything else. got some action in the end step. Oh, just a fetch. All right. Snake. This is the first time I've really played an Ice Fang Coatl deck, and this card is good. Just floating that one out there in case anyone was wondering. Tracker, baby. Ooh, a Questy. Alright, I'm going to attack with my snakes, see what they do, and then I'm going to play Tracker. I might be playing into a Supreme Verdict. So, like, I'm just going to stop playing cards after this one. And make them commit first before I do anything else. Like, this Tracker is a must answer. They could ignore the snakes for a while, build up their resources, but Tracker will kill them dead quickly. Alright, now we play the Who Blinks first game. I have this fetch land. They probably have a removal spell of some variety. It's my job to make sure I get at least one clue out of this thing, and it's their job to try to stop me. But if they don't take any action, then I just attack for a bunch of damage. So I have the upper hand in this little dance. They have resolved multiple brainstorms to my 0. Alright, so I'm going to get a clue. And I want to get a basic so my snakes have the touch. Alright, so I'm just going to hang out here. I guess I could draw a card off my clue and then decide if I'm going to hang out or not. That's the one card that might make me not want to hang out, so I'll shove it. They have to have Spell Pierce, or they're taking another 2-for-1. I guess they could actual counterspell. And if they're putting resources into Oko, then they're losing resources on this slow Coatl bleed. Alright, so we got another 2-for-1. It got rid of a Snapcaster Mage. That's like a 3-for-1. Pretty sure that's how that works. They must be running out of blue cards because that's one of their best ones. Alright, Oko's here. I think my beast is going to Queast. Alright, so I could just decay Oko. Or I could Questing Beast and kill it. Let's do that. That's so much more fun. And it keeps the clock on. Is your last card Force Blue card? Of your last 2 cards. They didn't leave up Swords to Plowshares. Alright, it's in there. Alright, so my snakes attack Oko, and my beast attacks my opponent, and then the beast damage will also go to Oko. This is a powerful card, folks. Alright, so my opponent is... Oh, never mind. They have a food. I was going to say they're dead on board, but they're not actually. They're just very close. They're dead next turn. I'm not going to play any of the cards in my hand because I don't want to expose myself to a Supreme Verdict or anything when I'm this far ahead. I want to be able to rebuild. Alright, they're dead. They didn't even want to try to eat their food and play through this. That makes sense. The clocks are getting tight. That game looked very different than the first one. They just didn't do anything. Alright, let's just do that again. Alright, our hand is totally fine. So I'm gonna get this is rough on the mana. I'll get Trop and Hierarch. I don't want a Zenith for Arbor because that plays into Spell Pierce, but they didn't leave up white, so they can't Swords to Plowshares this thing. I mean, they can now, but I mean, like, in the end step, they couldn't. Alright, there it goes. Come on, colored land. Alright, I guess I have library, so that doesn't matter. This also plays into Spell Pierce, but... Alright, we dodged. The old Jitte go. I'll take it. Yes. Oh no. Put on top. And I'm going to pay 4 life to keep that. I want to get a Coatl here. Like, I don't want to get something that they can just trade a Swords to Plowshares for, or get ahead with a Snapcaster Mage. See, if I got Noble Hierarch there, that would have been a huge punish. But at least I'm up a card. I'm still in a lot of trouble, but I was up a card on that particular exchange. Alright, so now Jace versus Library. The race is on. Dual decks. Alright. Found a land. Put this on top, and I'm going to keep that. Alright, I'm going to get Bayou and Zenith for Leovold. I guess my other option was to wait a turn on that and just try to Zenith for Questing Beast. Yes. Alright, so they bounce the Leovold. I get an extra card off it. Stoneforge is really good. They're getting Batterskull. Now, finding Abrupt Decay would be big here. Guess that doesn't really matter because this Jace is still pounding. Okay, we found an answer to Jace. If I go top, I can cast Courser. Really hope they don't have force. Land drop. Gain my life. Needle the Jace. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Take a break. And I can block this Stoneforge Mystic. Alright, that was a pretty good turn. Palace Jailer. That's bad news. Absolute nightmare. Alright, Jitte having counters on it is terrible. Alright, so put this on top. If I pay 4, this is an Artificer, this is a human soldier. Alright, I can't clear those. I'm going to keep this, though. So I'm going to name... Core. Maybe I should have OCO'd first. I'm going to name Artificer. Let's see if they kill my thing in response. Alright, they figured it out. Alright, I'm going to name Artificer again, though. Because that makes this 0 power, and they have to move their Jitte over to connect with anything. Oh, or they could just force it and make me dead. Yeah, like I couldn't even use Snake to try to maneuver through this and take the Monarch because they have Jitte. And Batterskull is threatening a rival. Yeah, this drawing the 2 Wastelands early and stumbling on colors really ruined our game here. We've also paid 8 to the Sylvan Library. We'd have a lot more time to figure this out if we didn't do that, but I don't know if we'd be in this spot if we didn't. So that's the management of resources in Legacy and Magic in general. Put on top. Questing Beast, unfortunately, doesn't help me here because they have Batterskull. Alright, put both of those on top. Alright, so now I can maximize my options here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can cast 2 of these cards. Green, black, blue, Leovold. Guess I could have played around Spell Pierce by casting Oko first. Oh, please don't Spell Pierce me. If I get Spell Pierced here, I deserve it. Alright, so Umezawa's Jitte becomes an Elk. What does that do? I still lose. I think Pithing Needle, but then they can activate Jace. I think I'm just dead. None of this even matters. So they gain 4, and then they have lethal with the Batterskull. I can't turn Library into an Elk. Enchantments are not Elkable permanents. Yep, then here comes the Batterskull. Alright, we're dead. That was not a successful league as far as winning matches went, But almost all of those games were really sweet and really close. We spent a lot of time just praying for Plague Engineer, which means that it's a good card to have in the deck. The Zenith package was powerful in some spots. Like we got a lot of coursers, and that questing beast play was nice. But overall, I think I would rather just have Thought Seasons and Snapcaster Mages like that one opponent we played against. Also, I'm pretty sure this Trinisphere in the sideboard is just wrong. There's got to be a better way to beat combo decks. But anyway, that was this Bug Zenith deck that lot of sweet games came out of that. A lot of sweet plays, a lot of interactive games. So if you're into mid-range interactive Legacy, this might be a good starting point. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that sub button. Follow me on Twitter at Bosch and Roll. I'm happy to talk about Magic all the time. Just send me a tweet. I respond to the comments too. So see you in there. Thanks for watching.